Standing in Tadasana, feet hip distance apart, lift the toes, spread them, press the feet firmly into the ground. Engage the legs, squeeze the glutes, tuck the tailbone under, suck the navel back towards the spine, and roll the shoulders back and down, eye gaze forwards. Think about lifting through the crown of the head. Inhale as you lift the hands up above the head, extended Tadasana. Exhale as you release the left hand and reach over to the left with the right. Inhale back to center, switching over the arms. Exhale as you reach over to the right with the left hand. Inhale, bring both hands back up to center, and exhale as you swing all the way around to the left in a full circle. Inhale, back up to Tadasana. Exhale, release the right hand, reach over to the right with the left. Inhale, switch over, reaching over to the left with the right hand. Inhale, extend both hands up above the head. Exhale, swing all the way through in a circle round to the right. Inhale as you come back up to center, back to extended Tadasana. Exhale as you swan dive down, hinging at the hips, keeping a nice long spine into Uttanasana, forward fold. Think about bringing the chest towards the thighs and letting the crown of the head hang towards the ground. You're here for 5 breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. With every exhale, see if you can get a little bit deeper. With every inhale, see if you can find a little further length in your spine. You can keep your hands on the floor. You can take a micro bend in your knees to extend the spine further. And you can even cradle opposite hand to opposite elbow and swing from side to side. Whatever feels good for your body. Take one last deep breath all the way in. Exhale as you plant the hands on the floor. Heel toe your feet out to the sides of your mat. Find your squat stance. Plant the hands in the middle. Inhale as you step back with your left foot into lizard lunge, dropping the back knee to the floor, letting the right knee track out to the side, but keeping the feet firmly fixed to the floor. Inhale as you lift and twist with your right hand up towards the ceiling, opening out the chest, opening out the shoulder. Exhale, bring that elbow to the floor. If you can't get there, don't worry too much. Just see if you can get as far as you can so you can feel the stretch in the groin. We're going to do this 2 more times. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale as you bring that elbow to the floor. Last time, inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, bring that elbow back down to the floor. And then inhale to come back up onto your hands. You're going to take your right hand to your left foot, reaching back. If you need to use a strap, or just simply lift the foot if you can't reach it. You should feel a stretch in your quad. Bring the heel, so you might find it cramped. So if you bring the heel towards the glute, and you can just pulse it a little bit, and then pull the heel in towards the glute, and just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release that hand, release the foot, bring the hand back round, and then tuck the toes under and step back, switch over the legs. So left hand, leg comes forwards, outside of the left hand, drop the right knee back down to the ground, untuck the toes or tuck the toes, whatever your preference. And again, just make sure this foot stays glued to the floor, and you can allow the knee to track over to the side to open up the hips. Inhale as you lift the left hand this time up and up towards the ceiling, twisting through the shoulders, opening up that chest. Exhale, release that hand down to the ground, bringing the elbow down to the ground if you can, or as far as you can get. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, release that elbow to the ground. Last time, inhale, lift and twist. Exhale, release that elbow to the ground. One last time. Inhale, come back up onto your hands. Take your left hand this time to right foot, reaching back. If you can't grab it, just here's fine. If you can, see if you can bring that heel all the way into your bum. You might just want to pulse it to stop it cramping again. And then when you're comfortable and ready, bring the heel in towards the glute and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Plant the hand back down and step to down facing dog. Pushing the sit bones high to the sky. Spread the fingers, grab the mat or the floor below. Push through the palms of the hands and push your head through your arms. Push your head and your chest through your arms. Push your tailbone high to the sky. If you want to, take a micro bend in your knees so you can reach higher with your tailbone. And then think about extending the legs and opening up the back of the hamstrings. Pedal the feet. Open up the shoulders. Don't let the neck sink up into the shoulders. Try and create space across the back of your shoulder blades.
And just gently ease those heels to the ground, pedaling out the legs one by one. And then slowly inhale as you lift both heels up high. Exhale, pushing down one last time. And then come onto your knees. And find extended child's pose. So arms are stretched straight out in front of you. Sit back on your heels if you can. Don't worry if you can't. You can always grab a block and place it between your bum and your heels. Bring your forehead to the ground and really reach forwards with your hands. So extend your hands, activate the arms. Really reach. Think about pushing your armpits into the ground. You should feel this stretch under here. Take 3 deep breaths. And then slowly walk the hands over to the left, keeping the head down. Reach all the way over to the left so you can feel a stretch in the side of your right rib cage. And again, just take 3 deep breaths here. And then walk the hands all the way back to center. And then across to the right so you can feel that stretch now in the left side of your rib cage. And again, just 3 more deep breaths. Then walk the hands back to center. Come up slightly. Look forwards, and we're going to scoop the chest through the arms and find cobra pose. So scoop the chest through and then push up into cobra. If this is too much for your lower back, you can always come back down into Sphinx pose. But if you can, find that cobra pose. Point your toes back, whichever pose you're in. Point your toes back, squeeze your glutes and squeeze your inner thighs so that you take some of the pressure off your lower back. Allow the hips to sink down towards the ground. Press through the ground with your hands. Lift the body away. Roll the shoulders back and down. Open up that chest. Eye gaze forwards. And if you want to, you can wiggle from side to side. Open up the abdominals. Open up the hips. Do whatever feels comfortable for you. You're here for about 5 breaths. And then when you've taken that 5th breath, exhale completely. And as you exhale, melt the body down towards the ground and come into a prone position. Palms facing down on the floor. We're going to come into scorpion pose. So think about bringing your shoulders to the floor, so the front of your rotator cuffs, bring them to the floor and try and glue them to the floor. Take your eye gaze forwards if you can. As you inhale, lift the right leg up high to the sky. Bend at the knee and allow the weight of the leg to drop it and carry it over to the left side of the body or the left hand in a scorpion style pose. Then take your right hand and press into the ground underneath your right shoulder so that you're opening up your left shoulder and getting a nice stretch across the front of your chest and into the arm. Take 3 deep breaths. And then inhale to lift all the way back up to center. Exhale, release the leg and the hand. And then switch over. So this time we're going to inhale to lift the left leg up high to the sky. Bend at the knee. Allow the weight of the leg to carry it over to the right. And then take your left hand this time underneath your shoulder and press into the floor to open up that left shoulder. Right shoulder, sorry. And you should feel the stretch again across the front of the shoulder, front of the chest. Maybe down into the arms slightly too. Take 3 deep breaths, so you're probably halfway. Take 1 last inhale all the way in. Exhale completely. And then on your next inhale, come all the way back to center, bringing the legs down. Come up slightly on your hands. Take your left elbow underneath you so that you can support your weight upright. And reach back with your right hand to your right foot. We're going to come into half frog pose. So you're going to bring the heel towards the glute and you're going to open up the quad muscle. So if this is easy enough for you, see if you can flip the grip. So fingers are the same way as your toes. Hands kind of go down the foot, and then you can press down into that foot and pummel the heel in towards your bum so that you get a nice stretch down the front of your quad. See if you can hold here for 3 breaths. And then release and switch sides. So take your left hand to your left foot this time. Grab the heel. If you can pull the heel in, that's great. If you can pull the heel and flip the grip and pummel that leg down, and try and get deeper into that quad muscle, even better. And again, 3 breaths this side as well. And release. Slowly come back up onto your hands and knees. We're going to come into hero pose. So hero pose, you've got 2 options. Option 1, just simply sit in a kneeling position, thumb on your heels. Option 2, and this gets into your ankles more as well as your quads. Take the feet out to the side of the sit bones and see if you can find yourself seated on the floor in between your feet. Sometimes this can be quite a strange position for people to get into, and if you can feel pain in your knees, please come back up. You shouldn't feel any pain in your knees. It should all be a stretch in the front of your quads. Once you've found that seated position, whichever one you're comfortable with, we're going to inhale to take the right hand up to the sky, take the left hand to the elbow, and we'll come into a tricep stretch. So drop the right hand down the back and pull back with your left hand so that you feel a nice stretch in your triceps. And just hold for 3 breaths if you can, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. With every exhale, see if you can pull a little bit tighter back with your left hand, getting deeper into that stretch. Last breath all the way in. And then release and switch over. So left hand goes up, right hand goes on the left elbow, pulling the left elbow back. We're getting into the left tricep this time. And again, 3 deep breaths. Breathing all the way in. And then release when you've taken those 3 breaths. Come back up onto your hands and knees, swivel the legs back around and under you and come into a seated position on your bums. Take your legs straight out in front of you. We're going to do half Lord of the Fishes. So keeping your right leg straight, take the left leg over and place the sole of the foot on the other side, so the outside of your knee. You're going to take your right hand, wrap it around your left elbow, so you're bringing your thigh towards your stomach. Inhale as you lift and lengthen through the spine, so keeping a nice long spine. And then as we exhale, we're going to reach back with our right hand and look over our right shoulder. You can use the floor to really pull and twist yourself round. You're going to be here for 5 breaths. So inhale to lift and lengthen. Exhale, look further behind you. And do that each breath. Manipulate the body around. Get deeper into your stretch. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling to twist. Each time, seeing if you can get a little bit further. One last breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then inhale as you come all the way back round. Unravel the legs as you exhale and switch over. So if right leg goes over left on the outside of the knee, the sole of the foot goes down on the floor, then you're taking your left arm around your right knee, twisting the stomach in towards the thigh, inhaling to lift and lengthen again, and then exhaling as you look behind, using the floor to pull the body round with your right hand, getting deeper into that twist. And again, we're here for 5 breaths. Inhaling to lift and lengthen, exhaling to twist a little bit further. See how far you can get. With every inhale, you can release a little bit of the tension as you lift and lengthen. And with every exhale, see if you can look a little bit further behind you. You might find one side slightly different than the other. That's perfectly normal. Last breath all the way in. Exhale, twist deeper one more time. And then inhale as you come all the way around. Legs straight out in front of you this time. Flex the toes back towards you. Pull the fleshy bits out from underneath your bum. And we're going to come into a seated forward fold. So we're going to inhale to lift the hands up above the head. Exhale as you reach forwards. Trying to maintain length in your spine. Bringing your chest towards your thighs first and then allowing your head to drop towards your knees. I'd much rather you sit here with a micro bend in the knees and get your chest nice and close so that you keep that length in the lower back rather than end up hunching in the upper back than I would you rolling over and just grabbing your feet any old how and not actually getting the most from the stretch. So always inhale to lift and lengthen and reach with your chest over those thighs. Allow the head to sink. And we're here for 10 breaths. So just really work on using the breath to get deeper into this posture in a dynamic way. So as you inhale, reach forwards, and as you exhale, sink down. Inhale, lift slightly as you lengthen again, and then exhale, reach down. And just keep doing this with your own breath, in your own time. You're about halfway now. So inhaling, lifting and lengthening, exhaling as you reach further forwards. And you might find you get a little bit further each time. And with this pose, you can use a strap around your feet to pull yourself in, or creepy crawl your hands along the floor. Or if you're there, grab your feet, pull yourself towards your feet. Really think about lengthening that belly across the thighs. You've probably got 1 or 2 more breaths to go, so always inhaling to lift and lengthen, exhaling, melt forwards. And one last breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then inhale as you come all the way back up. Slide onto your backs now, so come all the way down onto your backs. And just take your hands out to the side of you, wherever they fall naturally, it's absolutely fine. Come up onto your toes. We're going to do what we call wind wipers. So we're just going to, on your toes, with the toes resting on the ground, drop the legs over to the left, back over to centre, and then over to the right. And you're just going to go 5 times each side. In your own time, just opening up the lower back, releasing off any tension. The spine absolutely loves to be twisted, so this is a real nice, gentle way to release the lower back, release the glutes, and just relax after a workout. So we've got 1 more each side. And then inhale as you bring both the knees back up towards the chest and just hug them with both arms. Keeping the head on the floor, you can rock from side to side, back and forth. Massage your lower back. It'll probably feel quite nice. You've got a lot of nice nerve endings there that feel good when they're rubbed. And then slowly take your hands over to the left leg. Exhale as you extend the right leg all the way to the floor. Inhale to pull the left knee in towards the left shoulder. You should feel this stretch in your inner groin, in your hip. And just take 3 deep breaths there. With every inhale, pull that knee in a little bit tighter. Work the stretch, manipulate the body. Gently force it to give way and release. Last breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then inhale as you bring both knees back up to centre, switch over the hands. Exhale as you extend the left leg all the way to the floor. Inhale to bring the right knee in towards the right shoulder. And again, just take 3 deep breaths here. Using that breath again to manipulate the body, and you should feel this again in your hip. In the inner hip, it's quite a good stretch for getting in there. It's quite a nice one to get in to after a workout. Last breath all the way in. Exhale.
Exhale completely. And then bring both knees up as you inhale back to center. Take your hands out into a T-shaped position. We're going to go into a supine twist now. So we're going to take the hands out in a T-shaped position, palms facing down, glue the shoulders to the floor. Exhale as you drop the knees all the way over to the left. See if you can allow them to fall to the floor. If you can't, don't worry, they'll eventually get there with a bit of practice. And then inhale to take the head to look at the back of the right hand. You can use your left hand to press down on the outer thigh to help the knees to the floor. Or if you want to and you're comfortable, you can extend the top leg and cradle it in the opposite hand. And just take 5 deep breaths here. Really focusing on keeping those shoulders glued to the floor. Slowing the breath down. You should feel this in your spine, your glutes, maybe a little bit down the outside of your leg, but if you've got it extended. It's a really nice one to finish off a stretch routine with and release any tension that you're holding in your back. One last deep breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then inhale as you bring the head and the knees back to center. Exhale as you drop the knees over to the right this time. Inhale to take the head to lift and twist it to look at the left hand. And again, if you want to press down in the outer thigh, you can. Or extend that top leg and cradle it in the hand, you can. Just make sure those shoulders remain glued to the ground. And again, you're here for 5 deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Last breath all the way in. Exhale completely. And then inhale as you bring the knees and the head back to center. You can give them a quick little hug. And then if you want to, you can come into Savasana and spend a moment or two relaxing. Or you can finish your practice there, whatever your choice.